Now, the last part of our show, we try to do the impossible for you guys. Those that play daily fantasy, those that, bet. We try to tell you and get correct, of course, the top performers at the top positions. So starting at quarterback, Cam, I'm going with Carson Wentz, as I mentioned earlier in the show, against the Cincinnati Bengals. Carson Wentz has been waiting for this moment. He is the starting quarterback, and I think he's going to be the starting quarterback the rest of the year. Because Kevin O'Connell isn't a dumbass. He knows what he's doing. You have the weapons. You got the defense, right? You have the defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
So, and you got Kevin O'Connell. You have a lot going for you. Carson Wentz is also mobile. So I think he is going to be able to do enough here to put the Vikings. The Vikings just became a little scary to me by having Carson Wentz as their starter. So I think they're going to win this week. I think Carson throws maybe 220 yards, adds about 60 rushing, and has 3 total touchdowns.
Okay. I like it. Jake. I'll go for my top performer. I'm just going to stick with Tucker Kraft again. He's going against the Browns. That Browns defense, of course, outside of our defensive line, I think he's going to get a chance to go off. Jordan Love, I mean, the seam ball, Jake. I talk about this every time I talk about Jordan Love, but his seam ball is one of the better seam balls I've seen. And I mean, the fact that he uplifted Aaron Rodgers and Aaron Rodgers had to go to the Jets and then go to the Steelers because Packers thought they had a great franchise quarterback in Jordan Love. I agree. Him and Josh Allen and also Justin Herbert looking like the top 3 quarterbacks in the NFL. Lamar Jackson at 4, then I'm throw Baker at 5. But those are my top 5. Jordan Love is there, and Tucker Kraft receiving the benefits of getting catches from Jordan Love. So I like him being my performer this week.
Hey, well, I remember you mentioning, and I'll do this at receiver, because I remember you mentioning how Lamar Jackson, these fools keep dropping passes. Well, here's the deal. Zay Flowers isn't going to drop a damn thing. I think he's only just going to drop touchdowns here and drop them on the Lions. I think he goes for 2 touchdowns and 160 yards. We'll say 8 or 9 receptions. I'm very high on Zay Flowers. There's a metric I saw out there. I mean, if you watch the film, you can see it for yourself. But there was not a metric. There was a graph. Zay Flowers is creating the most separation in the league right now. He looks absolutely insane. And that's the reason. They're finally getting him the football. He was doing this last year. I mean, we all knew he was he could do this, right? Boston College guy. We knew that.
Yeah.
But the issue was, it's like they weren't getting him the football. So now he's always open, and now he's always getting the football. So I expect a huge game out of a Lions secondary that just doesn't scare me in the slightest.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And you called out some of the numbers for Tucker Kraft. I'm going to say he goes for 8 to 10 catches this game for 70 to 80 yards. And then I'm going to say he gets a touchdown. I think he's been balling out each week. I think that's been important to call out. Carl Granderson going against the Seahawks. I think go against Sam Darnold on that offensive line. I think he gets 4. He had 5 pressures last week, so I think he'll have 4 this week. I'm sure the team are like, hey, we need to double team this guy. Maybe Cam Jordan, double team him, but make sure Carl Granderson is taken care of. But I think he gets a sack this week, 4 pressures, and 2 TFLs because he was setting up a tent in that 49ers backfield. I think he'll do the same thing this week.
I like that. For my running back here, I'm going to go with Kenneth Walker in that same game against the Saints on the opposite side. I think Walker is back, and that should scare the living hell out of people because, when it comes to Kenneth Walker, I mean, this is somebody that's explosive. He's got good contact balance. He can help you in the passing game. He can help you in the run game, obviously. And the Seattle Seahawks need a run game to run the offense that they're trying to run. The desired outcome, the most optimal results will come from having a run game for any offense. But what Kubiak wants to do is he wants to be able to utilize the run game and open up play action. And I think if you're going to do that, you got to get Kenneth Walker involved. You got to get Zach Charbonnet involved. But I think Walker's back to where he was. So I'm expecting a big game from him against the Saints. And he is my top performer. I'm going to say he goes for 130 yards on the ground, a touchdown, and he adds 5 catches for 60 yards as well.
Ooh. Ooh, okay. That's a heck of a game. I don't know if Carl's gonna allow that, Carl Granderson, but we'll see. Jake, my next performer, I got a quarterback, Baker Mayfield. Like I mentioned, he's appearing to be my top 5 quarterback in the NFL right now. Ooh, I didn't think of Matthew Stafford though, so I'm about to put Baker at 6 then. But Baker Mayfield, I think he's gonna have a field day against the Jets. Of course, he has Sauce Gardner to go up against, but like I said, Mike Evans is due. They're going back home, so I expect. I'm gonna call 3 touchdowns this game. Ebuka, of course, I think he's gonna get about 1 to 2 touchdowns, and then Mike Evans will get some. I know Bucky Irvin's gonna find the end zone, but I think Baker Mayfield has a great offense, a great system that he's in, a decent defense to get him the football back, and so I think he's gonna go off for 280 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, and 2 sacks this game. He took 4, but I'll say he'll get 2 this week.
Yeah, and I think the last thing I'm going to have is Max Crosby against the Commanders. As I mentioned earlier, Josh Connerly Jr., just not a good fit against Max Crosby. Josh Connerly, you're looking at a little bit of a skinnier lower half. Max Crosby, you're looking at a guy that absolutely will dominate, just a regular, well-built offensive tackle. But when you're talking about a guy that has deficiencies in his lower half leverage, well, now Max Crosby is going to bull rush you to all hell. So I trust Max Crosby in this game. They probably won't win, but Max Crosby is going to find a way to get 3 sacks on Marcus Mariota, and he's going to end up with a whopping 8 pressures in this game.
Damn. Okay, I like it. So for my final pick, Jake, I'm going to go with specialists. I win the offensive player in Tucker, defensive player in Carl, and then third, Brandon Aubrey. I don't know if we're shining enough light on this guy, what he's doing on the football field, but I mean, he's perfect so far. I think he was perfect last year. He's going to be perfect again this year. He's playing the Bears, so it'll be a great matchup. And I think Brandon Aubrey will be 4 out of 4. I think his longest kick will be let's call here, maybe a 60-yarder. And I think he'll get them to win this game and more games. But Brandon Aubrey is a special player, and it's really cool to see him find success.
Yeah, you like Brandon Aubrey, I take it.
Yeah, he's on my fantasy football team. So.
Oh, okay. There it is, right there.
There it is.
No, it's funny. Yeah,
I got Dak starting this week too, so no big deal.
All right, I see you. Yeah, I liked what I saw out of the Chiefs last week. I think Brashard Smith against the Giants. If we're looking at it, because I didn't do it last week, if we're going to go with specialists, I'm going to go with Brashard Smith in the return game. I like that they're finally using him. Loved him out of SMU. I'm going to go with Brashard Smith. I think he houses one this week.
Okay, all right. I like it, Jake. You got to show love to the specialist, so I appreciate you adding that in there.